Hey, welcome to Discoveries Base Camp 1. My name is Dr. Discoveries.
And I'm Ranger Rebekah.
Guess what, guys? Today we have a new thing on Discoveries Base Camp 1. We have a studio audience. We have friends out there that would love to be a part of our show. So let's bring some of these guys out here. Let's start with you. Come on up here and introduce yourself.
Hello, my name's Colton Sparks. My name's Ariana Beckham. My name is Gavin.
Gavin.
My name's Carson.
Thank you guys for joining us here on Discoveries Base Camp 1. Rebekah, I'm so excited today. We are going to talk about wolf hybrids. Wolves, dogs, mating, wolf hybrids. Okay, so we got John from the Ohio Wolf Sanctuary, Southern Ohio Wolf Sanctuary. He's going to be on a little bit later, but when we come back, you and I are going to talk a little bit about wolves, okay? Let's do it.
All right.
Welcome back to Discoveries Base Camp 1. Ranger Rebekah, wolves. What do we know about wolves?
So wolves, there are several species that exist all over the world, but there are also two main species that exist here in North America.
That would be the red wolf and the gray wolf.
Yes, and historically the gray wolf used to be all over the United States, and the red wolf just in the Southwest.
And what happened to some of these wolves? I mean, from what I hear, rangers and people that had farms really did not like the wolf.
Yeah, so wolves are really great hunters. They hunt in packs. There can be 8 to 15 wolves working to take down their prey at the same time. So understandable that farmers weren't too fond of those wolves taking down their cattle or other livestock. So a lot of the wolves that used to be in this area have been driven out, and that's why we no longer have gray wolves here in West Virginia, Ohio, and Kentucky.
Now, they physically took out the wolves. They shot them, they hunted them, and what happened to the environment at that point when we didn't have this apex predator?
So you guys know we have tons and tons and tons of white-tailed deer, right? Well, wolves are predators. So predators means they take care of other animal populations and help keep them under control. When wolves, our large predator, went away from this area, populations of other mammals that were herbivores, meaning they eat plants, started to rise, like the white-tailed deer, cottontail rabbits, and their populations are out of control. They're overpopulated.
Now, here and other places in the U.S., we have hunters that go out and hunt deer, and so they kind of take care of that aspect of it. But in other places, there are animals such as up north, they have elk and they have moose. And guess what, guys? These animals have been eating everything down by the riverbeds. They've been eating trees, small trees, baby trees. They've been eating everything. So a lot of animals that depend on these trees and plants, they're having a hard time surviving. And this is all because of the decimation of the wolf population.
Have you guys ever heard of Yellowstone National Park? Yes. Yeah. So Yellowstone National Park actually reintroduced the gray wolves to their park to try and help control elk populations. When they did this, they saw a rise in the number of trees that began to grow back because the elk weren't eating all the saplings, but also other animals started to come back. More fish in the river, more beavers building dams in the river. That's because there was a lot more of the trees and life that they needed to be able to survive in Yellowstone National Park too. So introducing the wolf back didn't just help control the elk population, it helped increase other animal populations.
And this move by the agriculture and parks and rec people did not go without conversation between farmers and them. It was still a very controversial move to introduce these apex predators back into the environment. But by doing so, they really chased the elk and the moose population back into the woods where they needed to be and let these saplings, these young trees and plants grow to where they were benefiting other animals.
So wolves, we said we were going to be talking about wolf hybrids. So to bring dogs into the conversation, how do dogs and wolves fit together?
This is really kind of funny because dogs are descendants from wolves, okay? They are domesticated. And what we mean by domesticated is we have trained them, we've tamed them, and we have gotten them used to depending on us. So not only are wolves are carnivores, okay? But dogs are omnivores. They also eat grains and stuff like that. Now there's a new push to feed your dog meat, buy meat. Okay, that's not good. Your dog, the insides, the stomach and everything is used to having grains and meat now. So that is not a good thing. Now, what we have with these dog and wolf hybrids is we have a very specialized animal that we're going to talk about next. It's the wolf hybrid. And we've got John. He is here from the Southern Ohio Wolf Sanctuary, and he's going to bring us a couple of wolf hybrids and explain why he has to rescue so many of these beautiful animals. Hi guys, welcome back to Discoveries Base Camp 1. We're here with John from the Southern Ohio Wolf Sanctuary. John, what are the names of these two beautiful creatures you have up here?
This is Katana, and that's Cheyenne. Cheyenne is 6 years old, and Katana is be 4 months old this month.
Excellent. Now they are one of how many hybrid wolves do you have?
30, and then we're actually going tomorrow to rescue one more, so we'll have 31.
Wow, 31 of these awesome creatures that you care for.
So tell us a bit about what you do with all 31 of these wolf hybrids.
What we do is when we rescue them, after we go get them from owners that want to give them up, or if they've been put in animal control, we bring them back to the rescue, and then we get their vet care that they need. We get them spaded and neutered, and then we run through the process of evaluation to see their temperaments, how they do, how they are on leashes and different stuff. Like she's skittish, you can see, as you see. She's sitting good now, but some tend to be somewhat skittish. That's the wolf nature side. We evaluate them, see if we can get them to where they can walk on a leash, how they do with children, how they do with different different environments. And then if they're able to, then we do big checks, and we do try to get some of them adopted back out. But we make sure people have proper enclosures or containments, make sure they have the proper facility to be able to have one. And then if everything checks out with the dog and everything checks out with them, we try to find some that can go back into homes. But the ones that are more unsocial and are more rambunctious, as I call it, then they tend to stay with us until they pass.
Okay, so let's break this down. You guys get a call from somebody, and they can even be in a different state, and they say, John, we've got a couple wolf pups. Can you come get them? What do you do at that point?
From that point, what we do is we always ask for pictures of the animal. It doesn't matter, pups or adults. We always ask first for pictures. It's what they call phenotyping. We try to see if we see any wolf characteristics there. So there has been a lot of misrepresentation of these animals where people have been sold huskies or German shepherds that are not wolf dogs. So that's our first step is we see about how much wolf we think's there. We don't pick on choose on content on lows or highs, but we want to see if there's what we think might be a wolf dog there that has some wolf in it. Because if it's a shepherd or a husky, we want to make sure it gets to the right rescue so that it gets a home like it should have. And then from there, we start setting up days with the people to be able to go rescue it. And then we have surrender forms and stuff like that that they have to fill out to surrender the dog to us to give us legal ownership. And then after that, then the process starts of getting to it, getting it back, and then start the evaluation process and the vetting process to get the dog taken care of so that when one is able to be adopted out, that they get the best, healthiest dog possible when it goes out.
So what would you like to tell people about the importance of rescuing these wolf dogs?
The
Why
big
do you do what you
importance,
do,
the big importance is they can be good animals, but they can be a handful. You need to check and do a lot of research, not just through me. Don't take what one rescue says or one sanctuary says. Do some research. Check with a bunch of different people because you're going to get a lot of different answers from a lot of different people. Not everybody knows everything about them. So I always tell everybody to go do some checks with not just one rescue, not just one sanctuary, with a bunch. So that you know what you're getting into, making sure you have proper containments and stuff like that. And then decide what content you want because they do come in different contents. They can range anywhere between 1% up to 95 plus. And you want to get one that fits your lifestyle. Like Cheyenne at 86%, she does great, but I spend a lot of time with her. So you want to get one that fits your lifestyle. So if you're working 12, 13 hours a day, a high content may not be for you because you don't have enough time to spend with it. You might want to step down to a lower content that has a little more dog in it that can kind of entertain its own self, as I would say, whenever you're not there. But you still want to spend time with it. So you want to kind of try to balance the dog between you and what your lifestyle is as well.
Okay, so you say low content. Does that mean that, let's say Katana. Katana is certain percentage wolf and certain percentage dog.
Of dog. And most of them, we DNA test everything we have because there is like states that have percentage caps. Some places they're not allowed. There's some states that let the counties decide or the cities decide if they're allowed or not allowed. So what we do is we DNA test ours. And what happens is like with Cheyenne, when her DNA came back, she came back 86% wolf, and then she has Shepherd, Malamute, and Husky in her. And them are the three main breeds that are usually in wolf dogs. There is some that come back that have different breeds in it, but them are the most common breeds that are found in wolf dogs.
Okay, so what happens with Katana if she's sick?
If she's sick, we take her to the vet, or we had the vet to come out. Our vet comes out every year to give them all their shots. And then if there's an emergency or something like tomorrow when we go do this rescue, as soon as we get the dog back, we'll put him in quarantine, and then we'll set up the appointment for the vet. And depending on what the dog needs, we'll take the dog in to have him fixed if he needs fixed, and go ahead and get his shots then. And then we'll bring him back and hold him into quarantine to make sure everything is okay. And then if he's okay, we will try to introduce him into the pack or another group or with one single one, and then see how they interact, and then to see about evaluations and stuff like that to see that, he may be able to go out and be adopted.
Would Katana be a good one for the home?
So from what we see right now, she would be real good. She still needs some leash work, and she's still a little skittish. Even getting a pup, they're going to be skittish. And it's something you'll have to work with to get them out of, taking them places, doing things. Because socialization is a key to these dogs. The more social you can get them to be like her, the better you'll have as far as having a wolf dog be close to you. But they're the same as regular dogs. You can't end up with the same-sex aggression of where they want to fight each other that are on the same sex. So there's things like that that you have to watch for.
So when you say adoption, talk a bit more about that. You guys actually do some adoptions and also take donations.
Yes.
Tell our audience about that.
Everything we do is nonprofit. It is all done with public donations to make sure these dogs are taken care of. We do adoptions, and all of our adoption fees are just based off of the DNA, the vet care, and about 1/3 of what it costs us to go rescue them. Now, if we do a big rescue, like if we go to Texas or we go to some far off place, we're not going to try to incorporate all of the expense to go down there. We usually try to do 1/3 of what it costs us to do the rescue, plus their vet care, plus their DNA test. That way, whenever you get one, you know what content pretty close to what you're getting. So that it's not a guessing game that, well, it may be this or it may be that. At least you have a DNA printout showing how much wolf is in it.
Okay.
Now, Katana is how much?
Her DNA is out now. It should be back in by the end of August.
Okay.
Where we just got her, we went ahead and DNA tested her, got her vetted, got her taken care of. She's going to be going up here shortly to be spaded, so that she'll be ready. Now she might be one that'll be staying with us to take over for Cheyenne. Cheyenne's getting a little older and she has hip dysplasia. So we're going to need another one that we can explain and talk to people about. So this one will probably stay with us.
Now, some of your wolf hybrids, some would be good for the house, but others you have to make a special area for them. Is that correct?
We always tell everybody that they should always have some type of containment, just in case something does happen in the house that you feel that it needs to be outside, because some of them don't make good house pets and some do. But you're going to get out of it what you put into it. But some of them do like to chew on stuff and tear up stuff, and they can get quite destructive at times. And a lot of people don't like to come home and find their couches all tore up or their carpet tore up, and then that's why we end up with some too, is because they do get destructive. Then they don't want to take care of having a containment out for them, and then we end up having to go rescue one that way. But we do get a lot of them that people don't check their laws, and we end up having to go get them out of illegal areas that they're not allowed in.
So how about their behavior together at your place? So it's really probably interesting to observe because wolves in the wild, they have like a pack mentality and a really pecking order from alpha to omega. Do they behave the same way at your facility, or?
To a point they do, but for the most part they. I've got a pack of 6, a pack of 5, then groups of 2, and then I've got a couple of singles. I've got one single one that would rather have human interaction than he would dog interaction. And believe it or not, he's my highest content. But then I've got some that, don't want human contact at all. They're fine and great. Their quality of life is still there. They're still rambunctious. They're still playful. So each one of them, it varies, but for the most part, they do have their little order, but it's not super bad like it would be in the real wolf pack community.
Colton has a question. Won't you come up here, Colton, and ask John a question? You can also pet the wolf if you'd like.
Yeah.
So, are they more wolf or more dog?
This one I hear is more wolf than dog, and then this one I hear is DNA is still. She's 86% wolf.
So she's almost all wolf.
What breeds are there?
Huh?
What breed are?
Shepherd, Husky, and Malamute.
Oh, wow.
Awesome questions, Colton. Anybody else have any questions? Come on up
No,
here.
no. Stand close to me so we can hear you.
What do you feed the dogs?
Oh,
good
good question.
question.
Ours
Good
gets a lot
question.
of deer. They get about 5 pounds of deer each time we feed them deer, and then they do get some grain-free dog food. We do keep them on some dog food, but not very much. So most of their diet is raw diet.
Do you guys have any questions for John? One of the final series of questions deals with your donations, okay? Where can people find out more about you and the Southern Ohio Wolf Sanctuary? and where can they donate if they're able?
You can find us on Facebook, and we have a webpage. We let people donate many different ways. We have a link on Facebook. We have it on our webpage. We also have a Amazon wish list that's on our pages
that's a good
that you can use. We also let you call our vet. Their vet phone number is on our webpage, where you can call the vet directly and donate directly to the vet, so that they always have money up there, so that when they do go in, that there's something there for them. So we have many different ways. We also use Amazon Smiles, to where if you buy stuff from Amazon, if you have us selected as your charity, they donate a percentage of their the sale to us. So we have many different ways, because we want everybody to know that when we do this, it's not about money for us, it's about the money for the dogs, and it's to take care of the dogs. So everything we do goes to the animals. We literally put emphasis in our money goes to the dogs.
Well, John, I've known you for quite a while, and I love your wolf hybrids, and I love your facility, so keep up the good work.
Thank you guys for coming today.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for having us.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching Discoveries on Mytown TV, Discoveries Base Camp 1 on Mytown TV. Join us next episode when we talk about invertebrates.